Hello there. It is a beautiful, sunshiny, warm day, and it has been forever and a day since I have done one of these voices from the van. So here I am, parked on the side of the road to bring you a voices from the van. Where to start? So far, 2024 has been an intense, what the fuzz kind of year. Maybe that resonates with you. Maybe it doesn't. For me, it really does. I feel like I am all over the place. I feel like I am holding on by a very thin thread. So if you're feeling that, first I want you to know you're not alone. That doesn't always make it any easier. However, I do want to just point out some things that are happening or have been happening 2024. And I'm going to be truthfully honest about with some of the struggles that I personally have been going through, things that I'm really trying to work through, that I feel very stuck in. You may notice that lately you've been questioning who you are, what your next steps are, what path you want to go on. Maybe you're struggling with some really significant inner battles. So, things might be coming up that are taking you back a little bit. Maybe, knocking you off your rocker. I'm not sure what the wording would be, like taking you down a couple notches. And I don't mean it in a way like you have to be brought down a couple notches. I mean it in a way of we are transitioning through some really heavy stuff. We're on the tail end of some karmic completion stuff and some other things that have been going on. So we're really working through our own shit. We're working through triggers. We're working through pieces of ourselves that we thought we were, right? Like you're not the same person that you were, and I'm not the same person that I was. And because so much has changed, and yet maybe nothing has changed, but so much has changed, you may now just be trying to put the pieces back together. Does that make sense? Like it's as if we're carrying all these plates of stuff on them, and we've tripped. And now all those plates have gone flying, and all that stuff that was on them has gone flying. And now it's going to settle back and land however it's going to land, and we have to pick it back up. So be mindful of what it is you want to pick back up. Be mindful of what it is you want to let go of. You are a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. You are a work in progress. We're all a work in progress. We don't have it all figured out. We never have. We never will, honestly. And I think we're in these, we're coming into spring. Obviously, you can tell by this nice weather. And yet, things feel so heavy at the same time. And we have this feeling of needing to get things done, but lacking the energy to be able to do it, if that makes sense. Lacking the motivation. Not knowing where to start, not knowing how to start. And some of us are still I don't know about you, but I'm in last year, man. The last year has been incredibly difficult for me to process. And I feel like I get stuck in that same sludge and that same tire rut, just spinning in the same freaking circle. And it is the most annoying thing, and yet I keep myself in there. And then things pop up that really throw me for a loop. So, some stuff has come up in the last few weeks that have really made me question my own worth again. My worth as a human, where I fit, how I fit, if I even fit. And realistically, that's something I've always kind of struggled with, right? I kind of fit in everywhere, but I really don't fit in anywhere. And it's my own stuff, and it is what it is. But I may not be alone in that. So you may notice the same things, that you're just trying to figure out where you fit, how you fit, what direction you want to go. You might notice that you're struggling more than normal. You may find that some days are easier than others, and some days you may not even have the energy to get through the things you need to get through. And so how do we then continue moving forward, right? How do you take a step when you don't have the energy to take a step? And there may be lots of times where you're just not sure how you're going to do it. And in all honesty, we are, as humans, way better at sharing the good things than we are sharing the struggles, right? it takes a lot of vulnerability to tell someone that you're struggling, or to say, I really could use some support with this or some help with that. We're not wired anymore. We're not wired to tell people, hey man, this is what I need. First of all, because you have to put yourself out there. And I'm not good at that because, number one, I don't want it thrown back at me. And that sounds really a crummy way to think, but in my brain, for some reason, that's what my brain thinks. If I tell you what I'm vulnerable with, you may use that against me. Seems silly, but for whatever reason, we as humans do that, right? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And yet here we are. So there may be times where you're not sure you're going to make it. And it will take all the energy you have to put one foot in front of the other. Your confidence may have taken a beating. I know mine has. And there's nothing significant. I can't pinpoint one thing where something happened or someone said something to me necessarily that threw me for a loop. It's the shit flowing in my brain. It's my own ego telling me crappy things about myself, which as an energy worker, I understand, like, my soul is not going to say shitty things about me. It's going to tell me things to try different. But that other piece that wants to keep me in those stuck spaces sure likes to come out once in a while, right? Like, oh my God, Shannon, you suck at this and this and this. Like, what? And that just makes us tank down, right? So your confidence may have taken a beating, and that can be really hard to navigate. It can be really hard to put it all together, especially when it's a narrative that's going on in your own brain, right? It's not any better if somebody else tells you something, but if the words and the thoughts are in your own brain, it's really hard to stop yourself if that's the default place, right? You may also find that your focus is all over the place. Maybe you're struggling to remember things, do things. You might be lacking that focus. You might just be locked in a survival mode where you're just going through the motions, almost like you're an autopilot, just making it through. And the honest truth is, some days are exhausting. Some days are great. We don't share the hard days as easily as we share the easy. The last year, maybe even just these last few months, may have zapped your faith, your energy, the things that you believed about yourself, about the people around you. And so you may be coming, into this last, 3/4 of 2024 completely changed. We are not the same people, right? There's battles going on within that people know nothing about. There's battles you're battling that you aren't even fully aware of, right? We're undoing all of these other things too. I honestly just feel like I am just making it. And lots of days, I sit there in my own quiet, my own silence, just thinking how am I going to do this one more day? How am I going to do this one more day? So if you're there and you're struggling to do it one more day, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to reach out and say, I'm with you, Shannon, 110%. I'm not sure I can do it one more freaking day, because I'm not sure I can do it one more day. But then I hear the universe tell me, you need to stop and you need to record something. You need to share those feelings. You are not the only one feeling like this. And that heart-centered, beautiful soul that I am knows that if I'm feeling things so intense, chances are there are lots of others that are in the same boat. And it's those moments that push me to stop and record one of these voices from the van. This is where they come from. That feeling of I am a mess right now. I need to share something. I need to channel that energy into something, because otherwise it's going to eat me alive. And I know that my time here is not finished. I know that I have a beautiful path that I am walking. I know I am meant to serve and help and support and help people through the roughest parts of their journey. And I feel like the reason that lots of what I have struggled with, over the course of my life, but certainly over the last year or two, last few years, has brought me to a place where I can be of service. And it starts with serving myself, obviously, first, taking care of my own needs, making sure that I, come at myself from a place of love. Woo! Let's do some good old self-love, right? Isn't that what they tell us all the time? But it also allows me to channel that into helping others, because honestly, I'm just meant for great things, I think, as you are meant for great things, as we share our gifts and our light with the world around us. You are an incredible human. You are needed. You are loved. I care about you. I want what's best for you. I want you to be well loved and supported. So please, do what you need to do for you. Trust that you are an incredible freaking human. Take time to reach out to get support if you need support, whether that be through friends, healthcare, whatever else. And if you don't know what you need, reach out to someone who can help you figure it out, or even just talk to people. We need to share our stories. We need to share our journeys. We're not meant to survive only, right? We are not meant to just be in survival mode, struggling day in and day out. And we are not meant to carry that dark all the time. We are meant to send it out there. And if you don't feel like you have someone that you can share some of your darker stuff with, just say it out loud to, the grass on the side of the road, honestly, because we're not meant to hold on to that. I wish you a beautiful day. I hope you can get out in this sunshine, because it really feels warm and beautiful and cleansing and transforming. This is Shannon Taylor with a long overdue edition of Voices from the Van. You rock, incredible human, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.